Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be answering a question I get asked a lot by my friends and peers, and that is, does a higher IQ mean you are smarter? And my very brief answer to this question is no. No, it does not. Because IQ does not mean your actual intelligence level. It is how much you can store, how much knowledge you can hold, and how much knowledge you can remember. Like the average person's IQ is 100. But some people's IQ is lower, meaning they can't store or process as much information. And some other people have a higher IQ, meaning they can store and process more information. So that does mean you can have an IQ but not be smarter, but you can also have a low IQ and also be smarter. But this also means that people that do have a higher IQ tend to be smarter because they have more, they can apply more, and that means they have the option to use more and provide more, and that's why they decide to become smart. But then there's things such as being able to do stuff, such as it takes a minimum IQ to do stuff. My bad, I saw a squirrel. It takes a minute, I think once your IQ is lower than 60 or something, you're incapable of doing normal things on your own, like eating. I don't know. I'm not professional, don't ask me. But it does take a certain level of IQ to do other stuff, such as playing an instrument. It takes a minimum of 106 IQ to play an instrument. So that means I have at least 106 IQ. Oops. This thing's old. I've been out of school for a couple weeks. Is sticking really bad. I'm sorry, guys. So if this performance is bad, trust me, I know how to play an instrument. I might need to get my sheet music out. I tried to memorize this before recording. Sorry if this is annoying, guys. Oh, should I put this? Comment if you want to hear more music. I got lots. But back onto the main focus. So, because it takes 106 IQ to play an instrument, that means I have a minimum of 106 IQ. But that means my limit could be 106. Meaning I could store slightly more information than the average person. But my friend Blake has an IQ of 108 or 109, I believe. Which means, yes, he is very smart because he can store more information. And then my friend Christian, he's going into 6th grade, and when he was in 5th grade, he was in honors classes in my grade, which is 7th grade, which is, so like really good. Like he's smarter than me, and I believe his IQ is something around. There's a wasp trying to break into my room. Anyways, his IQ is, I think it should be around like 120 probably, because he could memorize 256 divided by 80, and he did it in like 2 seconds. It was like, it's 3.2, by the way, I remember that. But so yeah, that answers the question. The higher IQ does not mean you are smarter. It means you can be smarter. But there's also some things like me who does have a higher IQ, I can't do. It takes at least, like, I think 102 IQ to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I've never solved a Rubik's Cube in my life. But it takes, like, I don't remember exactly, but it takes, like, a certain amount to be able to read and write. I don't know, but, so yes. Oh, by the way, on instruments at 106 IQ, some instruments do not count as instruments, even though they're instruments, such as the snare drum and bass drum. Those are not considered instruments because they are so simple to learn. Only the complex, more complex instruments, such as the quads, like in marching band, the 4 little drums you have, like the 4 drums that go around here, they do take 106 minimum IQ. But standard snare drums, like this custom one I made, if I play this, if I give this to like a little kid, and they play it, ooh, it's falling, then that does not mean they automatically have 106 IQ. Like then everyone could have 106 IQ. Except the people who don't have 100. Actually, no, everyone technically can. But there are other things that people think lower your IQ, which don't. That is things such as developmental issues, such as things like autism and Down syndrome. These things do not lower your IQ. They just make it harder for you to pay attention, and it makes your brain like constantly search for new sources of like dopamine or something. I think it's dopamine that makes you happy, or is that serotonin? I don't know, but this does not mean you have a lower IQ. I'm pretty sure there was some really smart guy. I think it was like, maybe it was Isaac Newton. Someone had like autism and was still like an absolute genius. Maybe it was Albert Einstein, I don't know. But you can have cognitive diseases and be smart. But that also means if you have like a more mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, or even schizophrenia or Alzheimer's, I'm pretty sure that doesn't lower your IQ. Don't fact check me on that. I'm not sure. Again, not a professional. I'm a child. Like, I'm a literal child. But, yeah, I think that's all for this video. Well, have a good day. Keep learning, keep teaching. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your month. Have fun. Enjoy your life.